Hello. So I think I can start. Your voice is very low. Can you start? So that like wait for 2 minutes. Okay. So welcome all. Uh, it's like it's the second day of RPA course, robotic process automation. And I hope you are liking this activity. So as I'm starting my content, so in the morning time, the Mr. has started with the workflow, and the workflow with
Sir, actually, your voice is not clear. There is some disturbance in your voice.
is it cracking or like his voice is low?
Voice is like some interference type of something is there.
1 second. Is it okay, Shalini
Yeah,
ji?
yeah. Now it is okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So, like I have seen in the morning section, you have already covered the sequence. So, as what I told you, like the workflow is multiple type. So, now we are covering the flow chart and state machine. So, the morning we have already seen the review of flow sequence. Now we're starting with flow chart and state machine. And I hope you all are sitting with already UiPath software and you are running with UiPath software and you want to try this exercise with me. So if anytime you have any issue or any doubt, please. Oh, again, my voice is not clear. So if anytime like you have any doubt or any question, you can just ask me because right now I'm able to see that the message replies to what I'm getting. So feel free to contact me. So this is a important topic in RPA. So we can start. So my name is Gaurav Singhal. I'm working as assistant professor in Bennett University, Greater Noida. Okay, so we've already seen the sequence, but give a brief of that. So sequence is a container in which activity are placed, in which activities are placed one after another and executed linearly. So like you can see that as sir have told you, this activity, multiple activity are placed, these all would be executed in a sequence. So that's why they are calling it as a container, or container name is a sequence. But my topic is flowchart, so I'm going to just give you one slide. I will now want to shift to the flowchart. The topic I want to cover. I'm not going deep of decision making in flowchart loops and all these things because the next session will be separately on this decision making and loops. So my major concern is what is flowchart and how what is state machine and how can I make a state machine. So flowchart consists of various activities which can be connected to one another in a multiple way. So in the sequence you have seen all are connected with the linearly, but here you can connect it in a multiple way and diagrammatically represent various steps involving completing activities, tasks and processes. So you can include various activities, tasks, and processes in the flow chart. So you can see there's one small example is there. So there's one start window from where your flow chart will start. Then maybe you can use any activity or data input. So any idea like which activity you can use for data input? Anyone? Input dialog. Yes, Rakesh ji have told me. So input dialog, we can use it for taking the data input. So like you have simple thing. This is a simple, like you can say, sequence activity. Like in the last one, there is no arrow, but here we have arrow. So we have seen first there is a data input activity. Then we can use some kind of conditions, or make it, you can say any decision statement. So what you want to do next? Either you want to execute this step or you want to execute that step. This kind of flow we can decide in this flow chart. And before explaining all these things, I can just let you know, you can't say like this activity is only implemented with the help of flowchart, or this activity can be is only implemented with state machine or maybe sequence. So any activity, any assignment, any project can implement with any one of that. Just to like represent nicely or understand clearly, we can use different activities. So like you can say flowchart can be used for complex processes where you have multiple paths are given. So you want to clearly see where my motion is going, where my code is executing. So with there you can use flowchart. And simple, if you have a multiple sequence, multiple execution, then you can go for sequence. And in case of state machine, where you have multiple states are executing from one state to another state, and maybe they can repeat again first state, then you can use state machines. Okay, so this is a flow chart, it's very basic one. So this one small exercise is there, demonstrate how to flowchart building, which tells the user whether he has passed the exam or not. So I can just show you the small example. Take input from a user of name and marks obtained in the exam. You take two input, user of a name and marks obtained in the exam. Check if the marks are greater than 60 or not. And we have to check the condition. We have to apply condition. Okay. Then after that, we have to just tell them is either you pass or you fail. I will not take much time because the detailed view of the conditions and loop will be covered in the next session. I'm just covering in the terms of what is using in flowchart. Now I'm jumping to the my UiPath Studio. So I hope everybody know how to start it. So you can start a new process from here. Actually, my system already open, so I'm not doing anything new. I'm just directly opening a new file. From new, then you can go for flowchart. I'm simply mentioning flowchart. The new flowchart will open. Okay. I hope my UiPath screen is visible to everybody. Okay. So now I can use some activity. So like first of all, I have to take the number of input. So I can use a simple input dialog. If you want, I can take input dialog. Input dialog, I can ask like to enter your name. For storing this name, I have to create a variable, then control K we can use for creating a variable, then we give a name, variable name, identifier name definition is already clear, how to get a name. Okay, after giving a name, I have to give one more time input dialog for taking the marks. I'm taking marks of the student. So how many marks? I want to store the value of marks. Again, I will create one variable. I've created two variables. You can see that these two variables in the variable pane, name, marks in the flowchart section. Okay. Now I want to create one kind of decision. So in the flowchart, I will just search flow. The flow, you will see there are three options only there: flow decision, flow switch, flow chart. So basically decision for selecting between two possibilities. Yes, we will change the variable type. Let me see it if any issue is there or not. I'm using flow decision. The flow decision will be we are connected here. What I want to do, I want to check the expression. What expression? I will write expression here. What I want to check? Marks. Marks is greater than 60. Okay. Now you will see there is an error. So to remove this error, we have to change the variable name to int32, as one of the attendee have already mentioned that. So we are changing marks to int32. Okay. Now you will see there is no error. So whenever you find there is no error in this section, then you can directly run this file. Okay. Now you can see there are two sections. So one time I will write pass, one time I will write information fail. So I can again use message box. Just connect one message box this side and one message box this side. Clear? I can just give it like simple message box. Now let me see is it working fine or not. You can see we have mentioned it true and false. So this is by mistake I mentioned wrongly. So you can just correct it. You can save information passed and decide for fail. The fail means condition is fail. Just I can run it. Run file. Enter your name. Maybe I'm writing my name. Gaurav Harmon marks 75. You are passed. Okay. If you want to mention the name also, in simple, I can write the string. String name is I think name. Let me check. Yeah. Name plus symbol is passed. Okay. Again, before running this, always check this is there any error or not. If there is no error, we'll again run it. On file, name is maybe Mahesh. Marks is 79. Mahesh is passed. Okay. You can simply use that string to printing the name. It's very simple. Okay. So this kind of activity you can use in flowchart. This way we have done this exercise. So next you can see these are basically used for like there are two kinds of structures there decision making. One is flow decision, one is flow switch. Decision basically you have two combination like two possibilities, true or false, and here you can see there are multiple possibilities there. As you know the switch case in normal C programming. Some question is there in the chat, but I'm not able to see the chat, so I think I can give a reply in the last. Right now it is very hard. Where it is used in practical application. So it's like everybody know like what is the use of this decision statement. Like suppose we want to we have two possibilities. We want to select one possibility. Then we can use the switch and this flow decision. Like you want to say if you are like if your age greater than 18, then you will be eligible for giving a vote. Else you are not eligible to give a vote. So if you have to make this kind of condition, then you can use this flow decision. And in the terms of like in Excel, there are so many entries are there. You can use flow decision flow switch very easily. Similarly, you can also make a loop. So in the same case, data input, decision, like true, false. If true is there, again rotate it. You can make a loop. Okay. Why I'm going slightly fast because this thing will be a complete set. The next, I think 3 to 5. I'm not taking much time. You can see it on your own. Yeah, nesting flowchart and sequence. So there is no issue. You can define like first of all flowchart, and then flowchart. Inside flowchart, you can define sequence. Inside sequence, you can define flowchart. There is no issue. You can do anything. Like you can see, this is a complete flowchart. In flowchart, we are defining different sequences. So nesting is possible with any of the workflow. So I can just see the difference in sequence and flow chart. So in a sequence, process step flow in a clear succession without too many conditions. Like in which generally simple one-to-one flow is there, simple continuous execution is there. There we are using sequence. If multiple conditions are there and you want to clearly represent with the form of diagram, then we are using flow chart. Here, individual activities are easier to read and maintain. And here, individual stuff, but you can easily see the whole process by looking at complete flowchart. By the seeing the figure, you can easily identify like what is happening in this program. Here, decision tree are rarely used, and here decision point and branching are used very often. We have seen in flowchart, generally this kind of structure is there. Okay, this is used for simple and linear workflow, and this is used for basically complex workflow where you want to represent it in easy way or nicely way. There you can use flowchart. So this is very simple. I'm directly shifting to the next part, that is state machine. The state machine can see slightly like different than sequence and flowchart. Excuse me. So we'll try to give maximum time this to state machine, and we'll try to see the maximum exercise with state machine. So we'll cover this thing, state machine and states in state machine and differences. You can see state machine is a type of workflow that you have already seen. It uses a finite number of states in its execution. Like you know how many states are there, then you can use this kind of state machine. It can go into a state when it is triggered by an activity. It can go into a state when it is triggered by activity, would exit when another activity is triggered. It can enter to a state when it is triggered by another activity and can exit when it is triggered by again another activity. It is clear? So some kind of trigger is required to entry and exit in the state. We'll show you one example how it is working. Another important aspect of state machine are transition. So how many conversion is there like from one state to other state, S2 S2, that called transition. From one state to other state called transition, as they also enable you to add condition based on which to jump from one state to other state. So you can say from S to S2 or from S to S1. Both are possible. And how it will happen? Based on some condition. Condition will select which state you have to transfer from state S2, S1 or S2. These called transition, and this transition will happen based on uh, condition. These are represented by arrow or branches between state. These arrow are basically representing transition. So there are two activity that's specified with state machine, namely state and final state. In the state flow or state machine, there are two activity. One is state, one is final state. Okay, there is one note is there. You can only create one initial state. You cannot create multiple initial state because always process will start from one point. Not could be possible with multiple points. Then compiler will confuse from which part you have to start. Generally, we are mentioning start and then we are connecting with first state, so that's called initial state. Yeah, but possible have more than one final state. According to condition, we can finalize which state we have to use and which state we don't have to use, and what is the final outcome. That could be dependent on your project. The multiple state could be multiple final state is okay, but multiple initial state is not okay. And each state activity, I'm not asking final state, I'm asking state activity must have one transition. Each state activity must have transition. I'm just going to the state machine to show you all these points, what I'm just telling you right now. Okay, so I can just move to next slide. So how to find states in the state machine, the workflow, just simply search state keyword in the activity. So you will found this kind of structure. Inside the workflow, you found state machine. Then there are three options, final state, state and state machine. Final state, state and state machine. These are two basically states. And this is basically one kind of complete window where we can use this statement. Without this, without state machine window workflow, you cannot use final state or key state activity. Without this window, you cannot use final state and state activity. Okay, I'm just showing you all these things. Let me open the new file. I can use the main file. Okay, let me for some time. I'm removing this message box. Now I'm typing here state. After typing here state, you found there are three things are there. Okay, final state, state machine. So I cannot use state or final state inside that. You will see it is showing me not possible. I hope you are able to see my pointer. It's not allowing me to drop it here. Maybe state or maybe final state. Is it visible now? My pointer is visible, I think. Here you can see when I'm trying to put state machine, it is allowing me to paste it here or put it here. Will I change the pointer somewhere? Let me see if possible. Oh. Is it clear now? You have to use first of all state machine workflow. Okay. So one point is that you can mention it like this. The state machine is inside the sequence. Okay. Or you can open a new state machine from here. New state machine test. I can give you name state machine test. If you open a new workflow, new file in which state machine is there. I hope this point is clear. There is no issue with this point. You cannot use directly this state and final state. You have to create a new file or you can use inside the state machine activity. Now I can use these kind of like multiple activities. So I can drop state, I can drop final state, I can directly connect final state. You can see cannot set a final state as the initial state. Initial state should be some state. You can see I can just take an example state, then I can connect this is as a state. So you can see this is my initial state. This is my initial state. Clear? But you are able to see there is again some error is there. What we have mentioned, state must have at least one transition. The previous slide, each state activity must have transition. Transition means from one workflow to other workflow, from one side to other side, from one state to other state. If I will connect this to this, then you can see there is no error. The complete workflow. There is no error. The complete workflow. Even you can see, I will just show you the data also. The transition, we haven't mentioned any condition. Everything is empty. Nothing is mentioned. No issue. Okay? Yeah. If I will mention one more transition to itself, then again it is showing me error. So it is saying two transitions are okay, but both transitions are empty. Both transition conditions are empty. So simple thing na, like let me see it. Okay. If suppose there are two paths are there, okay, and both are saying x equal to 5, x equal to 5. So how you will choose path? So like because the both conditions are same, they are confused which one I can go. So the condition should be different for both the transitions. In transitions, conditions should be different. Yeah, you can say one have no condition and one have other condition, x equal to 5. But you are saying both have nothing. And how you will decide which path we have to choose, upper one or lower one. Clear? So that's why it is giving me error. Now you can remove this one. I hope it is clear. What are the final state? Okay, this is the final state. So final state don't require any transition. Okay, you can see this is not asking for any transition. The state will ask transition. I hope till now this is clear. No issue with understanding of state, final state, and state machine work activity. Can anyone acknowledge me? Okay, yes. No issue. Okay. 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 So next I will explain you one by one what are the components in the state, final state, trigger, everything. So this is the basically overall look how the state machine will look. It's right now it's you can see it's like combined. When I will open it, it will look like this similar. Okay. So this is the state. You can change the state name also. Maybe you can mention initial state, or you can mention like transaction state, whatever you want to specify a particular state. This is the basically name. So this is the basically entry part. This is a box for entry part. When a process will start coming and will come inside this state, so this part will be executed. Whatever you mention here, this part will be executed. Here you can mention a message box if you want, a conversation, a maybe an input dialog, anything you want to mention. Clear? But be careful, this part will always execute, unlikely, or can only execute once in this state, execution. Yeah, if it is completely exit and then coming back, then again will execute. If it is completely executed and then it's coming again, then it will be executed again. This in itself, it's in the state. It will not execute multiple times. Okay, this part will be executed when you want to exit the state. So here again you can mention anything, maybe assign activity, maybe message, both are okay. So exit activity activate when your transition will say, yeah, your transition is successful. Now you can exit the state. During the exit, if you want to print something or if you want to do any task in state machine, then you can execute this part. Okay, and here you can see you can mention the transition. What kind of transition you want to perform. So I will show you how this transition will look like. So basically, it will look like that this kind of statement is there. The state, transition name, if you want to give any name to transition, and the transfer state from this state to what state? Suppose I mentioned this final state, I mentioned final state. This kind of flow will be pasted here. So there could be multiple is there, one, two, three as requirement. Initial will be same because we are in the state. We are in this state, initial state. Then transition name also different always. There could be transition name, then T1 could be there. And the next state could be anything. Maybe the same state or maybe any other state. Clear? And then last it should be final state. And in final state, you can see there is no exit box. There is no exit, no transition. Only entry. When it is coming entry, you can mention in message box, yeah, we are on final step, final state, as such. If you want to mention. This is the overall look of initial state and final state. Let me show you here itself. You can see this is the entry state and exit state. I can use some kind of message box to print it to show you the process. Where is message box? I can just search it, message box website, message box. I can use one message box here, I can use one message box here. I can say this is the entry state, this is the exit state. You want to change the name, you can change the name also. Initial state. Okay, so you will see there is automatically transition showing to you. Your transition name is T1, destination is final state. We have shown it here. Initial state, final state, transition. If you want to change the name of transition, you can change it here. Yeah, first transition. Whatever name, like according to your program, you can mention it. Whatever name you want. Okay. In the final state, you can see there is only one box. I can just use again message box to print it here. We are in the final state. Okay. I think now you can see there is no error. I try to run it. It is executing not. I'm just running the file. In the entry state, it first go inside the entry state of the initial state. Then after there is no condition because when condition is true, we go to exit state. Then after exit state, we go to the final state. So it's printing we are in the final state. After that, finish. I hope it is okay. There's no issue with that. Now we can see how to look like transition. So again, I'm going to mention one thing, like no component is compulsory. If you mention it, then your choice. If you don't have requirement, you can remove it. Like you can leave it empty. Okay. Now I'm opening the transition. Okay. Let me again initial state, middle state. Just a small description. There are multiple, like initial state could be there, middle state is there. It could contain three components: entry, entry state, exit state, and transition. The entry exit section enable you to add entry and exit trigger. During entry and during exit, if you want to mention trigger or anything, then you can use this state. And transition, it display all the transition linked to selected state or other states. Maybe other or self, both are okay. We just show you transition linked to selected states. This transition have multiple components. One is trigger. If you want to mention any statement, any activity during the initialization of transition. Then a condition, like what is the condition to transfer at particular state, second state. If it is true, it will go to the second state, or you can say another state, selected state, whatever state we have mentioned in the transition. And third part is action. If suppose this condition is true, then what you want to mention, what you want to do in the action. What you want to do in the action. That will come inside the action part. And then you can say we have final state if you want to use, then like it's compulsory. Final state. Final state only have one thing, entry state. The next thing is transition activity. This is the basically transition activity. There is a name of transition, what we have mentioned here. In our case, first transition. Okay, in transition state, there are three components. One is trigger, second is condition, third is action. And you can say destination is showing you final state, source is showing you initial state. Okay, in which condition it is defined, initial state, where it is going, final state. Clear? Trigger means if you want to initialize something or maybe counter something, okay, maybe any statement before going to condition, then you can mention it in this box. Here you can simply mention a condition, could be anything, I less than 10, or maybe I equal to 0, any condition. If it is true, it will go in the action part, and it will allow the state to jump to destination state, final state. If this condition is true, it will allow to go to initial state to destination state. Here you can do any task, whatever is required, maybe message box or maybe anything. Clear? Or yeah, if you want to mention multiple conditions in the same trigger and you want to use same trigger for different conditions, then you can use added shared triggered transition. Different transitions are there, but triggers will be shared by all the conditions. So if you will click it here, you will see there's one more will open with different transition name, maybe the condition is there, action is there. But trigger will be same. Okay, I can just show you in the workflow, the way path. You can see this is my trigger is there. So I want to just include message box to see the flow, where it is showing the flow, where it is, how it is going. So I can just mention in trigger, in action, inside transition. Okay, you can see everything is okay. You want to mention add transition, you can again mention a transition. Multiple shocks are there. You can choose which state you want to move. Okay. So I want to just show the flow. So how this flow is executing. Let me first show you. So whenever you come inside, it will execute this path, entry state. After that, it will go to the transition. And transition will execute in trigger path. If condition is true, it will execute again back to exit state. And then it will execute this, sorry, then it will execute this action part. Let me run this file and you will clearly understand. Entry state in the init part, okay. Then in trigger, okay. Next, exit state. It will execute in last. Before that, we have seen conditions true. Then it will go to the exit part. Yeah, you are going outside the exit part. Okay. Then in action, inside train, you can inside transition. You can say this one. In action, inside transition. And after that, you go to the final state. We are in the final state. Then complete. I hope there is no issue with this one. Okay, Rakesh ji, thank you for your acknowledgement. Okay, so now I can show you one condition. If it is anything like simple, which condition I can use? I can use here also. Anywhere I can use it. I can just use input dialog. Okay, I'm just asking enter a number. Okay, I can just take a variable name and okay. Input number. I can just change the scope and type. from string to int 32, from this sequence to, because you have to use in the other state, unless we defining it as a global state machine test. Okay, state machine test. Now I want to use this variable inside the transition. I can go downside, I can open transition, I can use this variable here. Input number I'm mentioning is greater than 5, then it will executed, else it will not executed. It is clear? Let me see it is working or not. I can run this file, entry state, entry number, I'm mentioning 7, in trigger, exit state, in action inside train, number is greater than 5. So the case are okay. Suppose I'm mentioning wrong input, then what will happen? Entry state, number I'm mentioning 3, okay. Now it is again going to in trigger. No, let me see. Yeah, it's continuously going in trigger. Now it is stuck. Why? Because if the condition is wrong, it will go to the trigger, game transition. Now there is no choice, we have to stop it forcefully. Is this part clear? So now we can mention increment here if you want to increase the number. Let me show you. Number is input number. Input number plus 1. Okay, you will see there is no error. Error you have to check the first file. It should be there is no error in the file. Okay. Now I will again run it. I hope you haven't done any mistake. Entry state, number I am putting 2, incrementing number, incrementing number, incrementing number, incrementing number. After it is 5, it will go to the exit state. And if you want to clear it, like mention clearly, you can print the number here also. Not here. Basically transition. Number plus input number. You can see the current value. So basically, this number will not print, so we have to use not toString. Okay, because this mess box is basically used for printing a string, not number. So I'm taking entry state, number is 3, increment number 3 starting, then 4, then 5. After 5, if the condition will not match because when we are saying greater than 5. After getting 5, it will simply go to the exit state. I hope it is clear this section. If anyone wants to see again, I can. Okay, thank you. We'll go again next. So now we can see the multiple possibilities are here. State machine with single transition that we have just done now, right now. Single transition, like from this state is there. This state has single transition, transition 1. Okay, that we already completed. Now you can see there could be multiple transitions. Okay, Now I can show you one example of multiple transition. Suppose you don't want to increment number, you want to simply say input a number again. If your number match, then you will go to output, else you will not go in output window. Okay, so you can see how to make it again. So they are asking to add one more state. Okay, I can give a name, wrong choice. Okay, I can show you here the initial state. Now I want to, you can remove this transition. From the first transition, you can remove this trigger. You can also remove this trigger also. I'm not mentioning a trigger inside that. Now I'm coming to initial state. Now I'm choosing the wrong choice. I'm again saying like if the condition is okay, then you can go in that part. The condition is different, like less than 5. Then you can, what we can do, we can say then go in that particular state. Okay. So how we can do, if if input number less than 5, then again go to the main state. Let me just give a statement like if this condition is executed or not. Okay, that's why I'm mentioning it. Going back to original state. Now you can see that there are two options there. If number is correct, then to stop. I should go to wrong choice. Let me see it's working or not. It's asking a number, enter state. I am putting a number. Let me put 7. It will work fine. Good state, inside action train, everything is okay. Now we give a wrong number. Enter state, number is 2. It is going in exit state because it's going outside, but it's going again in that original state. You can see it will again jump to entry state. Again last number, I'm again giving you 1. In a 1, it will go to exit state because when this transition is executing, it means its initial state is going outside, exiting, and again coming to the same state. That's why you can see exit state is executed, and then you can see going back to original state, and then again jumping to the entry state. This one again. After this, again it will ask the number, and now we give a correct number. The correct number is 6. Okay, exit state. Then again action box, and then final state. I hope it is clear. Like yeah, I understand like state machine is slightly complex than normal sequence and flowchart workflow, because these are basically using for complex like you have a multiple transitions are there, and multiple states are there, and different states are coming again back to back. Then you can use these kind of statements. Like if you are going for RE framework, I hope you will see the introduction RE framework maybe in the coming sessions. So RE framework is a platform, or you can say framework, designed with the help of state machines. RE framework you can use, while making RE framework, you can use state machines. It's clear now. So like you can see, if this condition is false, then we go to this state. This state is executing. Then to execute this part again, because it is coming inside this condition again. In that case, if suppose this condition is false and there is no option, then we are always rotating in this part, not either executing, not either entry. I hope my point is clear. If transition 1 is there, and suppose this transition 1 is not true, and there is no other transition, it will again continuously rotating this condition. Condition is trigger condition, again trigger condition, again trigger condition. This thing will continue moving. And suppose if a particular trigger is if a particular transition is going back to original state, you have defined it, then this state basically execute entry state, then exit state, and again back to the entry state. I hope it is clear. There is no doubt with this part. I don't know, will they allow to speak anything or not? Maybe it's allowed. Yeah, you can message me simple. Yeah. Now you can see if you go to state machine with two states. There is no issue with that. You can just show you one more example. I can add one more state in between that. Let me go back. I can add one more state. What I can add? Anything like that I can add. State. Recently state. I can use one state. Again, you can see it is giving error. Why? Because this state have don't transition, don't have any transition. That's why it's giving error. Let me put one transition. Okay, now you can see this transition name. I can change it here. Final transition. If you don't want to open this trigger and action, if you don't want to mention anything, there is no issue. You just simply use it here. First transition and anything that you can mention it here. Input number and anything if you want to mention it, or you can leave it empty. By leaving it empty, it is by default true. So in the states, basically these two boxes are showing entry sequence and exit sequence. Exit statements and entry statement. Here you can see only entry. And you can see here we haven't mentioned anything, that's why it's empty. If we mention anything like a simple message box, I can change the name. Can change the name also, so there is no confusion. Intermediate state. You can see in intermediate state there is entry, there is a transition. Transition from transition name is final transition and destination is final state from intermediate state. You can see this is also automatic change from initial to first transition, initial to intermediate state. So there is no issue with that. Start, initial, intermediate, final. I can execute it. So entry state, asking number, I am putting right number, 8, exit state, action box. After action box, it's going in the intermediate state, and then final state, then exit. I hope there is no issue. So from this to this, if condition is true, number is greater than 5 in here. If less than 5, this side here, and if it is going inside, then go to this box, then fine. You can see there is no entry, no exit. Nothing is there, only simple state. You can see, you give any name, process state, initial state, final state, everything is okay. You can make multiple state or multiple final state. As in next example about the final state. You can see there are two final states. You want the same process from initial to process, process to final. Or maybe you can say if you wrong choice, then you can use second final state. I can also show a demo of this one. If you are asking one more final state, the final state I am going to choose one final state. I am putting this wrong choice transition to here. You can see this is change wrong choice to final state. I can change the name also. There is no confusion. Second final state. First final state. If a choice is wrong, it will go to second final state. And you can just put the message box like to get the clarity which one is executed. Second final state. I can execute this file now. Now you can see there are two possible first transition, right, wrong transition, final transition. I'm giving the output wrong now, okay? So I'm giving 2, you go to exit state, it is saying going back to original state because we have already defined that in that one. And now but it's going to second final state because we have changed the transition from initial state to second final state. That's why it's going there and exit. So you will see here it is only executing this part, not this part. As we have mentioned in the starting, the state machine could have 2 possibilities, 2 final state, but initial state could be 1. And only one will be executed, not both, either this part or this part, according to the requirement. I think you can go with one example. It's like a nice one example is there. Generating a, guessing a number. It is okay or not. If it's you have to guess number correctly, it is possible. So there's a small exercise is there. You can try it also from your side. In the meantime, I'm also trying to my system. So you have to use like demonstrate the use of state machine by building a workflow which will try to guess a number from 1 to 100. You have to guess a number from 1 to 100. So first of all, you have to generate a number. Okay. After that, take an input number from the user. Whatever number you want to guess, that number you have to take input from the user. Then you have to mention the different kind of transition. If number is smaller, like number is greater, then try smaller number. If number is smaller, then try greater number. If number is equal, then you can say display the result. So congratulations, you have guessed the correct number. So I want you will work together with me to implement this activity. Okay, I'm opening a new file. So with this, you will clearly understand how it is executing a state machine. I'm taking a new state machine. Name is guessing a number. Guessing number. Okay. So first of all, what I want to do, I want to input a number. So I can use a state in which I will take input. And this you can say give a number name, generate random number. Okay. What is the next stage? Next stage will be input or guess a number. So I can just take a new name, input a number. Or you can say guess a number. So according to a requirement, you can choose it. Like I am mentioning this name, maybe you can use both things in the same box. But I want to show a different states. That's why I mentioned two states. Okay, and then one given transition is there. Okay. After guessing a number, we have to see if number is correct. Then we have to go to final state. So we can download final state. Final state. Okay. Final state means we have guessed the correct number. I can use like correct answer of final execution. Yeah? Okay. Now you can see there is no entry exit, nothing is there. We have to define it slowly. Now I want to mention, okay, I want to take an input. So in case like you can use in either entry or exit anywhere, you can enter and execute. So go clearly mention like I'm using a input dialog. Not input dialog, basically I want to generate a number from computer itself. I'm not giving it. I will use assign activity. Assign activity you can see is one left part, one right part. The left part is one variable name will come by control K will define new variable. So can I give a variable name? Variable name could be anything. Random number. Okay. Now I want to give a expression. What is the expression for generating a random number? You can use new random, then bracket, then dot next. After next, we can give a range. Range I think you can give to 1 to 100. Minimum and maximum. Okay. Now you can see still there is error. One or more children have a validation error. So it's saying option strict on disallow implication conversion from integer to string, because this is giving the integer number and this is a string. So you have to change random number. Random number, first of all, I will change to complete file, the scope. This variable can be accessed through any state, and this variable is integer type. Okay, I want to clear it, like from transferring one workflow to other flow, we can use argument. I hope you know this thing. I want to just clarify. Again, this showing me some error. Let me see what is the error. New random dot next 1.100. Oh, now its error is removed. Of course, it will take time to remove the error. Okay, now generating number is completed. You can see there is no error. You can see there is entry box. Now you have to guess a number. For guessing the number, I can use this box. I can use input dialog. So I'm asking enter enter number. I can mention label. Guess a number that equals to random number. Okay, I have to store this result somewhere. This is that result. Result I can store in variable control K. That name I can give variable name is guess number. Okay, I can give a name. Name is clear. I can change a type. Type in string to integer 32. Okay, now you can see if the number guess is okay, then you can go to correct answer. So I can mention transition. In transition, if guess number is equal to random number, then you can directly go to correct answer. I'm not mentioning any like action or anything. I will just mention directly in the final state. It's up to you where you want to mention. Everything is okay. According to requirement, you can mention it. You have guessed the correct number. Congratulations. Okay. You can see this, everything is okay, good. This is simple transition. This is for correct one. I can change the name also. Correct. To be more clear, you can, by the name you can clearly mention what function is doing what. If you want to run it, I can just show you run by running this but it's very hard, like how can I identify it is not correct or right. Okay, it was stuck because we haven't seen the other conditions. So you have to stop it, because if number is not correct, then what will happen? Now we have to mention other conditions. So if condition is not true, then what we'll do here. Okay, now we'll check if input number, no, guess number, sorry, guess number is less than random number, then we can mention a message box. We can just tell them number is no greater. If number is guess number is less than small number, the number is smaller. Try bigger number. Okay. Now you can see it's going again back to the same. Source is guess number and destination is again guess number. We go to again that same state. Now I'm going back again. This is basically if number is smaller. I can use similar kind of one more for bigger. Give a name first of all, bigger. I can also mention condition here if you want to mention. And open it also with a big window by clicking here. The condition will be guess number greater than random number. Okay, like the guess number is input number greater than random number is bigger. But we have to mention one kind of message box to tell the user what you have to do. The number is bigger try with smaller number. Okay, so you can see there are three transitions in one state, and one is going to the correct one. If anything is true, then we go outside. If we're again going, and again ask the number, guess a number. We can try it now. Everybody has tried, or like where should again? If you're trying together with me, then we can have a look. Else we can run this command, like run this activity. I think I can execute it now. Run file. They're asking me guess a number that equal to random number. I'm just trying with because I have tried the number from. I have given a number range of random number from 1 to 100. I'm giving a range 50. The number is bigger. Try with smaller number. So it's saying whatever input number you have tried is bigger. Now try with smaller number. The small number could be in between 1 to 50. I can try with 25. As we are doing in the binary search. So this is again saying number is bigger. Try with smaller number. Then I can take the number 1 to 25. The number is, I'm just trying 12. Yeah, now it is saying number is smaller. Take bigger number. Now don't choose from 25 out of 25. You have to choose a number from 12 to 25. I can choose 20. It is saying number is bigger, try smaller. So 12 to 20. I can choose 17. Number is bigger, again smaller. 15. Number is bigger, again smaller. 30. Yeah, you have guessed the correct number. So now it is finished. We have find the final number. I hope it is clear now. Similarly, when we have try to make it what I've told you in the lecture. Simple start and generate a random number, then guess a number. This guess a number have input dialog to enter a number. This number is stored in a guess number. Then we have three conditions or three transitions. One for correct one, number is equal. One for smaller input. One for bigger input. Smaller input, then again go to this one again. Then go to again for the bigger one. In both cases, we will execute the same condition, and if the same number is came, that is random number, then we can go to final state. We can say correct answer. We can guess the correct answer. I hope it is okay, everybody. Like this is the you can see the scenario if you want to see. Start, initialize random number, guess number, try smaller, try bigger. If it is correct answer, then go to final state or executing state. You can define the range of guess number, like I have defined 1 to 100. You can choose anything, any other range. For this, you can also make a program, like in terms of input dialog, you can define automatic choosing a number. You can apply like a binary search. And automatically, it will find the correct number. What is a random number? For generating a random number, I have used a function that's called random, and I have mentioned the range with the help of next, minimum range, maximum range. Like here we are in terms of equality to use binary search. I hope it is clear. I want to just give you one more example of RE framework, just to see, give a small demo. Maybe it is already defined the some session in the FDP, but still I can give you basic one. Here my detail, I can open it again. Let me show you the RE framework. RE framework is slightly again, everything is like a new thing, but just for like a basic introduction I want to give you. So you can see like you want to open RE framework, then you can go to the home session, and you can see there's some predefined templates are there. Background process, orchestration process, RE framework, RE, robotic enterprise framework, transition process and trigger based attendant automation. I'm just opening it. When I click it, it will asking you what you want to give a name to the this RE framework file. I can give you simple name like RE framework test. This is the directory where we are storing it. When I create it, it will take time to load all these things. So you can see when you open main workflow, you will found the complete sequence of different state machines. When the complete process is there, you can see the start. When start, there is one condition of initialization. It can be used for data initialization, data capturing, or data like collecting in some a local domain, a local server from the outside web or maybe anywhere. So here we can use basically configuring the file or credentials, all these things can mention it here in the initialization part. If initiation part is okay, it's successful, then you can go to the get transition data. Basically like this can be used for getting data one by one. If you want to process the data one by one, then you can use get transition data. And if there's an error, then you can use this system exception to just kill the process or end the process. Like you can see, this is a transition. You can open it if you want. This again trigger is there, and again there's a condition is there. If you go into action, then you can mention the command, default transition. You can see there are two basically shared transitions there. Okay, if they can they are commonly using the same trigger, but they have two conditions. If system exception is nothing, then go to get transition data. If system exception is there, like not nothing, something is there, then go to end process. You can say single transition is showing both transition. You can see two transition is sharing one trigger, but you can see both the conditions are different and both their destination are different. You can see here successful system exception error, end process, and get transition data. Let me show you from here. It can go to this part or this part. After here, this part, if the transition data is successful, it can go to the process transaction. It can process the transactional data. So again, there could be multiple possibilities there, like you can see it here. If it is successful, then again go to next data, continuously moving it. There is no data, it can go to end process. Again, you can go to transaction. If any business exception is there, again you can check the data. If any issue with the data, or if any system exception is there, you go to the start of process. This kind of process we can easily deploy with the help of RE framework. Suppose if you are going for RPA advanced level certificate, then you have to solve the exercise of W5 and W4. Like forgot the name, like what are the exercise. Basically one is like generate monthly report, and second is one more exercise. So generally we calling it name as a W5 W4. So for that exercise or for advanced training certificate, then you have to learn this RE framework. For learning RE framework, you have requirement of state machine. So you can see everything is a state machine. You can see this is the entry point. In entry point again there is a sequence is there, multiple sequences there. Then you can see there is a exit state, and then there are some transitions. So it's up to you. Again, I'm telling you, like you can use entry state to exit state, whatever the requirement, you can use it. And if you want to leave it blank, you can leave it blank also. Okay, so I think from my side it's done. If you have any question, then please ask from me. Like you can write, type in chat, or maybe you can just speak it if it's possible. And if you want to further like ask any doubt or anything, please feel free to contact me anywhere, like by mail or anywhere, like you can mention in the link below anywhere. I'm happy to connect with you. I think there's no doubt. Any question that I've not entertained. When we get a recording, maybe I can ask to organizer, maybe they are recording the session. I don't know exactly. Yes, please. Okay, sir. Thank you. Hello, sir, your voice is breaking. I think, sir, pardon please again, like because I'm not getting. I think I can close it now. Okay, so I think one question is there, when we can use flowchart and when we can use state machine. So as in the starting, I told you, like there is no specific program that you can say that we only implement with the help of state machine or flowchart or sequence. So you can use anything for any project, but for particular diagrammatical representation and for like looking nicely and clearly understanding, you can use different exercise. Suppose like you can say simple sequential without decision statements, you can use sequence. If you have some kind of multiple conditions, multiple like you can say branches, then you can use this flow chart. And if you have different states, like one state you are executing, and then you transfer to other state, then third state, or maybe you can come to again first state, then you can use state machine. I hope it is clear the question of Naresh sir, Naresh Kumar ji. Thank you everyone to like joining my session. I hope it's wonderful, and you enjoy the session. Thank you, the organizer who have organizing this nice workshop. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Thank you. Welcome.